Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel. I am docLUXURY and I'm here again to talk about some Louis Vuitton products that I have in my collection. But before we do that, cue the intro. So today I thought I would talk about my Louis Vuitton accessories, and after looking at the stuff that I have, probably 80% of my accessories are all luggage tags, and this is just ridiculous. I have too many. I've never actually seen them laid out all like this, and I am beginning to think that I'm a little bit crazy for luggage tags. Anyways, let's begin, and I'll just show you these in multiples of the same types. And so first I have a handful of the natural Vachetta type luggage tags, and I did take all of these off of my bags and wherever I could find them around my house, and I think I got them all. But anyways, I have some that I don't have hot stamped because I always, sometimes I can't decide what color or whatnot. Let me zoom in on this a little bit. And so I have some luggage tags that are hot stamped. This one in particular has my initials. These two are the smaller version, and these three are the larger version. I have this one hot stamped with the Hawaii, hot stamped there. These two on the back here I have hot stamped again with the Hawaii logo. Now I do have relatives that live out there. Shout out to my relatives who live out there in Hawaii. So I do visit on occasion. When I do, I try to visit some of the Louis Vuitton stores there. So these two have the Hawaii logo, one in red and one in blue, and this one has my initials hot stamped in red. These luggage tags are probably the cheapest thing that you can get in a Louis Vuitton store. I mean, they're still quite expensive for the type of item that they are, but nonetheless, if you want to go into a Louis Vuitton store now, I think they're being a little bit more stingy about how to buy them and whatnot. I have been moving a lot because of my career and for school, and so every time I move I have to have another essay and build up that relationship before I can start asking for certain things. Moving along, let me show you the amount of black luggage tags that I have, and this is a handful here as well. So I do have a whole bunch of them. I have a couple that are in the smaller size. This one is actually a special one because it has a, it has a metal LV logo on the center there, if you can see. This one originally came off of the women's bag. I believe it's called the Dora, I believe. But yeah, this one's really cool. The other small one that I have is this one right here. It's another black one, and I just have a handful of the large black ones. I have some in here that come from the Macassar, and some that are from the Damier Graffiti. The way that you can tell the difference is that the Macassar is a little bit less shiny. Let me just show you examples here. So it's hard to tell here. Well, actually with the light it's a little bit easier, but this one on my left in blue is Damier Graffiti, and this one on my right is from the Monogram Macassar. if you can see, this one's a little bit less shiny, more matte in color, and this one is more shiny. And now, come to think of it, this is a good time to talk about the heat stamping that some essays are able to do, or some stores. I just wanted to show you a few examples. I have this one. I'm just going to bring this one out right now. This one is in Damier Ebene. Now, as you can see, the letters, I have 3 letters going down, and these ones are very clustered together, which I don't really like. When I was back in North Carolina, I had a great essay out there who was able to hot stamp them nicely spaced like this in the largest prints, and so that was really nice. Originally, when I was traveling, I had purchased this luggage tag for one of my bags, and I wanted it hot stamped with my 3 initials on here because I had seen it online that it could be done. And they originally said they couldn't do it on the front like this, and so they did it on the back, which I think most Louis Vuitton stores are able to do with this type of spacing. As you can see, they are a little bit more widely spaced out, and that is why they weren't able to put it on the front here, because this space is a little bit smaller, more narrow. And so they said if I wanted 3 initials, I had to put it on the back. And then I came back to my essay back in North Carolina, and he was able to say, you know, he thought it was crazy because he was able to do it like this. And so when I was able to, I got this one hot stamped from him as well, and this one also. Now, one thing here, I just wanted to point out that my blue one, as you can see, it does have my initials, but the R at the very top is starting to peel off. And I think with all the colors except the silver and the gold, you can see a little bit here on my yellow one, the R is also starting to peel off. But let me show you the blue one a little closer here. You can see the hot stamp is starting to come off, and over time it will just completely fade away, which is still, you know, it's still fine for me. Alright, let me zoom back out. Alright, so I showed you my black ones, my Vachetta ones. Let me show you this one right here. This one is in a dark gray. Now, like I said before, if you build a relationship with your SA, and I did at one point when I was living, I believe, in North Carolina, like I said before, I just asked my SA whenever he found or whenever he saw, you know, really nice or different colors in the store, if he could just, you know, tell me about it. And he saw this gray one, which actually looks more black, but it is dark gray. And then going into my Damier Ebene collection here, I have one that is completely blank, doesn't have any hot stamping at all. And then on these 2, I have one that has my initials, and again on the back of both of them I have the Hawaii logo on the back of these. Let's see here. I have a few red ones in my collection. So these are the red hot stamps. And so now I'm living in a different state, and again I'm trying to develop a relationship with an essay here. And I went in to get this one hot stamped, and they said basically if I wanted three letters, I'd have to go what is this called? Landscape, I guess you can say. And this one, if you can see, it's a little bit crooked, which, you know, I didn't really notice it when I was at the store, when I went to go pick it up, but I noticed it a little bit later, and by then, you know, I was okay with it. But yeah, I have this one in a nice red. This one is in a lighter red, maybe more of a hot pink color. And then this one, it's hard to tell the color, but it's more of a, let me see if I can do this, more of a dark cherry in color. I don't have this one hot stamped because I wasn't sure what I could put this on or what color to get the hot stamp in. Moving along, I have 2 green luggage tags. I have one in the small size and one in the larger size. Again, I don't have these hot stamped at all because I just don't know, you know, what color I should go with on these. Finally, I have a couple interesting ones in a black and in a white, and these are a more, I don't know what type of leather these are, but they are more of a rough type of leather. But yeah, I don't have these hot stamped as well. So one thing I forgot to mention for the luggage tags is that I like to put this little clasp on there, and as you can see, this one is in the gold. Basically a repair piece that you could try asking your SA for, but yeah, they don't sell this piece in particular. I do have several of them that I was able to, you know, get from, let me see, yeah. Well, this one is actually, you know, it comes on the actual keychain, so I bought this one as a keychain extender, but then these 3 I was able to get from my SA for free. And so if you have that relationship with your SA, you can just walk in the store and ask if they have any of these available, and they may or may not give it to you. So yeah, that's just one more thing I wanted to say about that. I have a couple bracelets. I have this one here. Let me see if I could show you up close. It is called, you can see, it is called the Check It bracelet. It is in the Neptune color on one side, and on the other side, let me just take it off. It is in the, I think it's called the Cosmos. It's the darker blue color, but I normally wear it on the Neptune side because most of them, or the stuff that I have, are on the Neptune. The second bracelet I have this bracelet right here, which goes around my wrist at least twice, and it is called the Sign It in Damier Graphite. It has a nice little silver plaque for the Louis Vuitton logo right there. So there are 3 holes here that you can adjust this bracelet depending on how thick your wrist is. Next up, I have, and it comes in this dust bag here, I have a belt. Alright, so I have this belt here. It is called the LV Initials, and it is in the 110. I am a big boy, and so I have to have a bigger belt. And so if I bring it out, it's just a bunch of the LV monograms out there. And now with this belt, this is actually my second belt of the same kind. The very first one that I had, let me zoom back out here. The first one I had, I only wore it maybe, you know, less than 10 times or so, and the glazing here on the edges started to basically melt or rub off. And I brought that back into my SA, and yeah, he thought that shouldn't be happening in such a short period of time, and he basically just gave me a brand new one. He just, you know, let me exchange it out for this one here. And ever since then, I've just been very, very careful with this. Alright, next up, talking about accessories. Going away from anything leather or canvas, I have a couple Louis Vuitton sunglasses. Open this one first. This one is the Impulsion, and the gradient goes to gray to clear at the bottom there. And this is just how it looks on me. I think it's pretty cool, and the nice thing about this is that there are nose pads, because as a lot of you out there know, plastic frames are hard to come by with nose pads, and those nose pads are definitely, you know, needed when you want to adjust them, especially if you have a, you know, a small nose bridge. The second pair of sunglasses I have here, the same exact design but in a different color. This is the Impulsion in the blue. Now this one has the clear rim. If you can see here, it's clear on, let me focus in on here. It's clear on the outside, but then the lenses themselves go from gradient to dark gray to clear at the bottom. Again, a very nice pair of sunglasses. Now I did at one point get prescription in these sunglasses, but my prescription is more for near vision. My distance is pretty good, and so I don't really need a prescription now for my sunglasses or anything like that. All right, and rounding it up, I have something in this box right here, and I saved this one for last because, well, I don't know why, but I did. This is a Louis Vuitton watch. Let me bring this out. Has all the paperwork and all this stuff. Oh, forgot to snap it closed. But yeah, let me just show you here. Let me focus in. The box has Louis Vuitton Paris on the front. And to open it up to reveal my watch, it is analog as well as digital. Let me just take this guy out. And now with this one, just like as I mentioned before, if something isn't working for me, or if I could, you know, change it to make it fit my style a little bit better, I will. Now this watch band is in the Macassar, but it originally came in, let me put this down, in with these rubber straps. And I wasn't really a big fan of the rubber look there, just because I thought the rubber detracted from the design of this watch. And so I went in one day to the Louis Vuitton store and I asked to see some of their watch bands, and I saw this one here, which I fell in love with, and I got it. And now something to note on these watch bands. So the watch bands, they sell separately from, I forget what this piece is called, the clasp, I guess you can say. And so yeah, they sell this as well. The nice thing with this watch is if you can see here, it is analog, but it is also digital. I love digital watches, but if anybody knows anything about, you know, luxury watches, is they don't really come in digital format. And so the nice thing about this one is that it is analog and digital. The face is so shiny. The crystal, there's not a scratch on it. And yeah, I love this watch to pieces. Alright, I think that pretty much sums up my accessories collection. In the next video, I'll probably talk more about other designers that I have in my luxury collection, like Hermes, Prada. I also have some Chanel. So yeah, until next time, see you later. Bye. This dust bag here, I have a belt, and I actually, shoot, let me come back.